Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee are two of the most legendary martial artists the world has ever known. Let us go back to 1967 at the All-American Karate Open Championship. Chuck Norris, the tough guy everyone's talking about, clinches the championship title. But hold on to your seats because that's just the beginning of the story. Enter Bruce Lee, the dynamo whose martial arts moves are like something out of a movie. His performance at the championship leaves everyone in awe. But what happened next was even more mind-blowing. These two powerhouse personalities didn't just exchange nods of respect, they formed a bond that defied expectations. But what was it that drew them together beyond their kicks and punches? And what bombshell revelations has Norris made about Lee's death? As we delve deeper into their friendship, we'll uncover some unexpected twists and turns that will leave you stunned. And brace yourselves, because we're about to reveal a shocking truth about Bruce Lee's death. Chuck Norris is about to break his silence and spill the beans on a truth that's been hidden for far too long. Let's dive in. Before we dive into the riveting tale of Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris, let's start by showing your support. Hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Now, get ready for an untold story that will flip everything you thought you knew about these legends upside down.
飲譽影壇嘅武俠明星李小龍突然逝世嘅消息，轟動本港各界人士。
Bruce Lee was born on November 27, 1940 in San Francisco to Grace Ho and Li Huaichuan, a Chinese opera singer and actor. Bruce went from San Francisco to Hong Kong as a child, where he began his cinematic career. Believe it or not, his first appearance was as a baby in the film Golden Girl. From then, he continued to land more roles. Bruce became a student of martial arts legend Ip Man, who helped him establish a solid foundation as a performer and fighter. Bruce became more involved in competitions as he grew older. His extraordinary speed and agility had drawn the interest of prominent figures in the martial arts community by the 1970s, putting him on the fast track to fame. Chuck Norris, born on March 10, 1940 in Ryan, Oklahoma, had a challenging childhood. Norris was a shy, non-athletic kid struggling with his father's alcoholism and financial issues. After joining the U.S. Air Force in 1958, Norris was sent to South Korea, where he started training in Tang Soo Do and was given the nickname Chuck. His martial arts skills grew, and after leaving the military, he competed in martial arts tournaments. It was at one of these competitions that Chuck met Bruce Lee. Chuck Norris is famous for his powerful roundhouse kicks and his action hero roles in the 80s and 90s. He starred in movies like Good Guys Wear Black, Breaker Breaker, and The Octagon. Before he became an actor, Norris was a martial arts expert who trained many celebrities. Their partnership peaked in the 1972 film The Way of the Dragon, in which Bruce Lee not only showed off his directing skills, but also the incredible chemistry he shared with Chuck Norris. Fans will always remember the spectacular fight scene that took place in the Coliseum as one of the most epic fight sequences ever captured on screen. The Lee family curse, rooted in Chinese customs and superstition, heightens the mystery. The curse is believed to have targeted male descendants, tragically claiming the lives of both Bruce and his son, Brandon Lee. Brandon's untimely death during the filming of The Crow in 1993 only heightened the intrigue. The facts surrounding Bruce Lee's death are still shrouded in mystery and speculation. Now, after decades of silence, Chuck Norris has stepped forward to unveil the shocking truth behind Bruce Lee's tragic demise as well as the mysterious death of his son, Brandon Lee. Chuck Norris's insights into Bruce Lee's sudden passing have sparked heated discussions and a plethora of interpretations. The speculation is endless, ranging from theories of heat stroke to reports of Chinese crime syndicates such as the Triads being involved. Bruce and Chuck are two martial arts giants who reshaped action cinema forever. But what's the real story behind their bond? How did their friendship lead to one of the most epic showdowns ever seen on screen? In the late 1960s, Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris were rising stars in their respective realms. Lee had already made a name for himself in Hong Kong with his first two films, The Big Boss and Fist of Fury, while Norris was a dominant force in the karate world, boasting numerous tournament victories and titles both in the US and abroad. Their paths first intersected at the All-American Karate Open Championship in 1967. Norris emerged victorious, showcasing his skills, while Lee captivated the audience with his electrifying martial arts demonstration. Recognizing each other's talents, they met after the event and engaged in discussions about martial arts and combat techniques. As they conversed, a bond formed, sparking a connection like two peas in a pod. They discovered a shared passion for martial arts and a desire to push the boundaries of their skills. This led them to make a pivotal decision: to train together in Lee's backyard. This wasn't just any training session, it was the beginning of a transformative friendship that would shape both of their lives and the world of martial arts forever. In the realm of martial arts, Bruce Lee was known as a sponge, always ready to soak up knowledge from others. He eagerly absorbed valuable tips from Chuck Norris, particularly focusing on high kicking techniques. Previously, Lee had held the belief that kicking above the waist was unnecessary, but Norris opened his eyes to the importance of flexibility, especially when an opponent's vulnerable spot is up for grabs. Within just 6 months of intense training under Norris's guidance, Lee's high kicks had reached a level of proficiency that rivaled Norris's own. Meanwhile, Norris found himself drawn to Lee's lightning-fast speed, raw power, and philosophical approach to fights. Lee introduced Norris to the innovative world of Jeet Kune Do, a martial arts philosophy and style crafted by Lee himself. Jeet Kune Do is all about simplicity, directness, and freedom, aiming to break free from the confines of traditional martial arts. One of its defining principles is interception, or attacking the opponent's strike before it reaches its target. Practitioners of Jeet Kune Do undergo rigorous training to master interception using a wide array of techniques, including punches, kicks, elbows, knees, traps, locks, and throws. It's all about heightened awareness, lightning-fast reflexes, impeccable timing, and the ability to adapt to any situation on the fly. Beyond simply a martial art, Jeet Kune Do advocates for open-mindedness, flexibility, creativity, self-knowledge, and continual self-improvement. Jeet Kune Do isn't just a fighting style, it's a way of life, embodying Bruce Lee's philosophy of constant evolution and self-improvement. Chuck Norris was deeply impressed by Bruce Lee's unwavering dedication and passion, which only served to strengthen their bond. Their friendship reached new heights in 1972 when Lee extended an invitation to Norris to star in his third film, Way of the Dragon, which Lee both wrote and directed. This Hong Kong martial arts action comedy film was an instant hit, captivating audiences worldwide and showcasing the immense talent and charisma of both Lee and Norris. In Way of the Dragon, the story revolves around Tang Lung, a young martial artist from Hong Kong who travels to Rome to help his friends protect their restaurant from a menacing crime boss. The film reaches its climax with an unforgettable fight between Tang Lung and the crime boss's hired assassin, Colt, portrayed by Norris, set in the iconic Colosseum. Not only was Way of the Dragon a commercial triumph, but it also solidified its place as one of the greatest martial arts films of all time, cementing the legendary status of both Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris in the annals of cinema history. It exemplified Bruce Lee's philosophy of adaptability, creativity, and self-expression, while also showcasing some of the most iconic fight scenes in cinematic history. The unlikely friendship between Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris not only left an indelible mark on the world of martial arts and cinema, but also served as a testament to the power of mutual respect, shared passion, and unwavering dedication. Loving this deep dive into Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris? Before moving on to Bruce Lee's tragic death, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more incredible martial arts stories and history. Bruce Lee's mysterious and untimely death deeply affected the world. Widely regarded as the most influential martial artist of all time and a pop culture icon of the 20th century, Lee played a pivotal role in bridging the gap between East and West. His impact on the portrayal of Asians in American films was revolutionary. Lee challenged popular stereotypes of Asian men as weak, childlike, or domestic servants, instead showcasing them as tough, strong, and sexy. Hee-Young Chung, a lecturer at the University of Michigan, claims that Lee's fame gave rise to a new stereotype, the martial artist. Lee changed the game by replacing boring, outdated cliches with a fresh portrayal that clicked instantly. However, the sudden and mysterious death of Bruce Lee at the young age of 32 sent shockwaves across the globe, leaving behind a multitude of unanswered questions. On May 10, 1973, during a filming session for Enter the Dragon at a studio in Hong Kong, Lee collapsed and was swiftly rushed to hospital. After receiving treatment, he appeared to have recovered. Just over 2 months later, on July 20, 1973, Lee was in Hong Kong to discuss a film project with actor George Lazenby and producer Raymond Chow. Following a productive meeting with Chow, Lee headed to his colleague Betty Ting Pei's home to review the script. Lee was supposed to attend a dinner with Lazenby, but he never showed up. When Chow checked on him, Lee could not be woken. Despite efforts to revive him, medical professionals pronounced Lee dead upon his arrival at Queen Elizabeth Hospital. The untimely passing of Bruce Lee not only marked the loss of a martial arts legend, but also created a void in the world of entertainment, sparking numerous questions about the true cause of his death. One person deeply impacted by Bruce Lee's passing was Chuck Norris, who mourned Lee's loss and paid tribute to him in various interviews and publications. Norris described Lee as a phenomenon and a genius who had revolutionized martial arts and cinema. He expressed regret at not being able to witness Lee's further growth and accomplishments as he aged. Despite Lee's untimely death, Chuck Norris maintained a close relationship with Lee's family, particularly his son Brandon Lee. Though Brandon was only 8 years old when his father passed away, he inherited Bruce's passion for martial arts and acting.
And he tried to lift too heavy weights, and he ruptured the disc in his back, and he was laid up in the hospital for 3 weeks. In fact, the doctor said that they didn't know if he'd be able to walk again or not.
Brandon pursued a career in acting, starring in notable films such as Showdown in Little Tokyo, Rapid Fire, and The Crow. Throughout his journey, Chuck Norris played a significant role in Brandon's life, serving as a mentor and friend and supporting him in both his professional and personal endeavors. Tragically, Brandon Lee's promising future was abruptly cut short when he passed away at the age of 28 due to a fatal accident on the set of The Crow. The accidental shooting deeply affected Chuck Norris, who considered Brandon a son and was immensely proud of his achievements. The deaths of Bruce and Brandon Lee devastated Norris, and he attended Brandon's funeral to pay his respects, hoping that they would be reunited in heaven. The puzzling circumstances of Bruce and Brandon Lee's deaths keep people guessing, stirring up endless speculation about what really happened to them.
Tragedy, it seems, runs in the family. Bruce Lee was a movie star who died young and became a legend. Now his son Brandon is gone as well, fatally wounded while starring in a movie.
Chuck Norris recently shared his perspective on the tragic death of his close friend Bruce Lee during a martial arts demonstration at San Diego Comic-Con convention. Norris, who was familiar with Lee's health issues and lifestyle, shed light on the circumstances surrounding Bruce Lee's untimely demise. According to Norris, Lee suffered a back injury in 1968 while performing a weightlifting exercise called Good Mornings, which resulted in a ruptured disc in his spine. This injury caused him a lot of pain and made it hard for him to move around freely, so he needed surgery and medicine to get better. Despite medical instructions to rest and allow for proper recovery, Lee just couldn't sit still. He kept pushing himself with tough workouts and lots of physical activity. Norris emphasized Lee's unwavering quest for perfection in all areas of his life, including his physique. Lee's fast metabolism prompted him to consume a lot of protein and supplements like ginseng and royal jelly to boost his energy and performance. He also drank a lot of water, sometimes up to 10 liters a day, to help his body detoxify. Bruce Lee made the famous quote, "Be water, my friend," a household phrase. During his stay in Hong Kong, working on his next picture, Game of Death, Lee developed a severe headache and sought treatment from actress Betty Ting Pei, with whom he had a close relationship. Lee had no idea that the medicine he had taken contained aspirin, to which he was allergic. The combination of drugs, vitamins, and hydration apparently caused a reaction in Lee's body, resulting in cerebral edema or swelling of the brain. Cerebral edema is a dangerous disorder characterized by the buildup of fluid in the brain, which causes increasing pressure inside the skull. Cerebral edema can damage brain cells, reduce blood flow, and cause oxygen deprivation, all of which can be fatal. While Norris's narrative provides one perspective on Lee's death, it has been viewed with skepticism from various sources. If you're enjoying this video so far, show your support by hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel. Stick around as we'll be diving deeper into the details surrounding Bruce Lee's mysterious death. For years, the circumstances surrounding the premature death of martial arts icon Bruce Lee have sparked heated debate and controversy. However, biographer Matthew Polly has presented a new perspective that challenges earlier theories and sheds light on the exact cause of Lee's death. In Polly's book, Bruce Lee, A Life, Polly digs into the details of Lee's final days, providing a new perspective on the events that led to his tragic death. He gives a wealth of evidence to back up his theory. Matthew Polly's theory on Bruce Lee's death provides a compelling narrative that challenges conventional explanations. By examining various aspects of Lee's life and health, Polly suggests that heat stroke could have been the true cause of his demise. Polly investigates the possibility that Lee experienced heat stroke, which was made worse by his intense physical activity in the scorching sun of Hong Kong. Polly highlighted one crucial detail: Lee's decision to undergo surgery to remove his sweat glands, motivated by his desire to maintain a certain appearance on screen. According to Polly, this surgical alteration compromised Lee's body's ability to regulate temperature through sweating, leaving him more susceptible to heat-related illnesses. In his argument, Polly emphasizes how Lee's time in the hot and humid climate of Hong Kong played a crucial role in the filming of many of his iconic movies. He says Bruce might have been more likely to get a heat stroke because of the hot weather. Also, Bruce's body changes after removing his sweat glands might have made him more at risk. Furthermore, Polly brings up an incident preceding Lee's death where he exhibited symptoms like heat stroke while working on the film Enter the Dragon. Matthew Polly's analysis delves into the circumstances surrounding Bruce Lee's collapse and subsequent diagnosis of cerebral edema. However, Pauly speculates that the underlying cause of this incident could have been heat stroke, and the diagnosis of cerebral edema might have concealed it. Pauly draws on expert opinions and medical insights to support his hypothesis. He underscores the possible connection between Lee's previous episode of heat-related illness and the ultimate events leading to his death.
There was a service in Hong Kong last week. 12,000 mourners, many of them weeping teenagers, jammed police barricades.
Furthermore, Pauly scrutinizes the circumstances surrounding Lee's final moments. He draws attention to the unbearable heat of the day in July when Lee passed away, with temperatures reaching as high as 33.9 degrees Celsius. This detail adds weight to Pauly's argument, suggesting that environmental factors may have played a significant role in Lee's health deterioration. Pauly focuses on what Lee did before he collapsed. He points out that Lee chose to lie under a thick blanket and take medication with aspirin and a tranquilizer. Pauly puts together these details to tell a convincing story. He shows how these things might have come together to cause a fatal heat stroke made worse by the medication. Most importantly, Lee's autopsy report backed up Pauly's theory. It showed that Lee didn't have too much medicine in his system and didn't have any allergic reactions, which means an overdose or bad drug reaction wasn't likely. Instead, the report showed that Lee's brain had swelled a lot, which supports the idea that the cause of death was related to the heat. Expert medical opinions, such as that of Dr. Donald Langford, support Pauly's claim even more by admitting that heat stroke is the likely cause of Lee's death. When reassessing Bruce Lee's death circumstances, Matthew Pauly's theory presents a strong challenge to accepted theories. Pauly makes a strong case for accepting heat stroke as the real reason for Lee's premature death by painstakingly piecing together numerous aspects of Lee's life and health. The triad theory presents a captivating but controversial perspective on Bruce Lee's death. The idea that the triads were an infamous Chinese organized crime group with a stronghold in Hong Kong and other areas of Asia is perhaps one of the most intriguing and much discussed hypotheses surrounding the incident. This theory suggests that the triads had something to do with the tragic death of martial arts icon Bruce Lee. According to this belief, Lee's intense connection with the triads during his tenure in Hong Kong eventually caused his demise. Though this theory has received a lot of attention and discussion, it is still theoretical and lacks hard evidence. It is implied that the triads were dissatisfied with Lee's unconventional treatment of Chinese martial arts in his films. They viewed his non-traditional methods and disregard for established martial arts customs as an open challenge to their dominance. In addition, Lee's bold challenge to well-known martial arts masters in Hong Kong schools heightened animosity between him and the gang. These masters were suspected of having connections to the triads. His films were seen as both a clear insult to the triads' cultural legacy and a direct challenge to their dominance in the martial arts world. This theory also has a strong, supporting argument regarding the triads' alleged attempts to blackmail Lee for money. Lee, an extremely successful and wealthy actor and producer, directly challenged the triads' dominance over the lucrative Hong Kong film industry. He refused to pay them protection money. Furthermore, Lee's ambitions to further his career in Hollywood and other foreign markets posed a threat to the triads' influence over him. This might have made them think of him as a strong enemy deserving of punishment. A third aspect of the triad theory suggests that the triads' desire to destroy Lee may have resulted from disagreements of personal issues with particular triad members. His aggressive behavior and willingness to take a stand could have caused him to clash with powerful people in the company, creating resentment and an urge for revenge. Did you hear that tensions between Lee and the triads spiked because of gossip about him dating women linked to the triads? Rumors about him and actress Betty Ting might have made gang members jealous and angry. So, those rumors could have made things worse between Lee and the Triads. It's also interesting to consider how the Triads allegedly planned Lee's death. The theory suggests that the Triads might have employed various sinister methods, such as poisoning, shooting, stabbing, or strangling to eliminate Bruce Lee. But the most dangerous option is to employ a method known as dim mak, also known as the death touch. This technique involves precise strikes at specific pressure points on the body, capable of inducing internal damage or even fatality. There are theories that the Triads could have hired a skilled martial artist, possibly a rival or former student of Lee, to execute the dim mak technique. This may have contributed to Lee's untimely death, either directly or indirectly. The supporters of this theory cite a number of testimonials and circumstantial evidence, seemingly strengthening its credibility. These details present a disturbing image of how the Triads might have orchestrated Bruce Lee's untimely death. They leave behind a lingering mystery and fuel ongoing speculation about the real reason behind his passing. The theory gains credibility from reports of death threats and sabotage directed at Lee's film projects, which are believed to have come from the Triads. Lee's previous history of cerebral edema, which is thought to have resulted from the Triads' unsuccessful attempt to perform the dim mak technique, further supports this notion. Additionally, his complaints of headaches and dizziness on the day of his death add weight to the theory. Moreover, Lee's attendance at a restaurant reportedly owned by the Triads on that tragic day adds to the possibility of poisoning or a direct encounter with gang members. Experts have interpreted the bruising and needle marks found on Lee's body after his death. They consider them potential evidence of either the dim mak technique or the Triads' attempt to hide their role in his death. The tragic events that followed further fuel theories about the Triads' potential involvement in Bruce Lee's death. These include the shooting death of his son Brandon Lee on a 1993 movie set and the unexplained disappearance or deaths of people connected to Lee. These individuals may have had incriminating information about the Triads. This fuels speculation about their potential involvement in Bruce Lee's death. Even though the Triad theory seems convincing, it's important to examine it critically because it is theoretical and there isn't enough hard evidence to draw a definitive conclusion about the Triads and Bruce Lee's death. The Lee family curse is a mysterious and sad legacy that has haunted Bruce Lee's forefathers for decades. The belief in curses and superstitions has been a part of human history for centuries. According to this theory, there's a belief that an evil force specifically targets male members of the Lee family, leading to their untimely and often violent deaths. Several generations of the Lee family, including Bruce Lee and his son Brandon Lee, were victims of this concept of a curse. But where does this notion of a curse come from, and is there any factual basis to support it? The roots of the Lee family curse theory can be found in Chinese folklore and superstition, where stories are often intertwined with magical aspects and ancient legends. According to one telling of the tale, the curse originated during the Tang dynasty. During this time, a strong sorcerer's curse fell on Li Yuan, a well-known general renowned for his courage and loyalty. The sorcerers pledged that Li Yuan and his successors would not live past 33, sealed the tragic fate for each successive generation. Another version of the story links a curse to a general named Li Su in the Song dynasty. He betrayed his emperor and faced a curse from the emperor's court magician. This curse cast a shadow over the Li family for generations, dooming Li Su and his descendants to die by fire or metal, expanding its tragic legacy. The authenticity of these tales is still up for debate, but there's no denying that they have influenced the attitudes and actions of the Lee family over the years. Bruce Lee's parents held strong spiritual beliefs and superstitions, particularly after the passing of Bruce's elder brother prior to Bruce's birth. Some believe that the curse was the cause of his brother's tragic death, which further cements the family's fear of its evil impact. Bruce's parents shielded him from the curse by clothing him in girly clothes, referring to him as Little Phoenix, and not addressing him by his true name, Jun Fan. Bruce's parents adopted these methods in hopes of protecting him from the perceived threat of the curse. By doing these things, the evil spirit was supposed to be fooled into thinking Bruce was a girl, freeing him from its grip. Bruce's parents also consulted astrologers and fortune tellers who informed them of Bruce's fortunate but dangerous dying fate and cautioned them to be vigilant about his safety and security. Sadly, some people who believe in the Lee family curse think that Bruce's death wasn't just an accident. They believe it was because of the curse. They say things like Bruce dying at the same age as his grandpa and having a dream about dying with his wife before it happened are too strange to be coincidences. Alleged sightings of a haunting presence fuel this notion. Bruce claimed to have seen a demon in his mirrors and depicted similar encounters in his films. Despite the ominous shadow cast by the alleged curse, Bruce Lee's determined spirit drove him on a path of rebellion and adventure. He came to the United States at the age of 18, where he studied and taught martial arts before inventing his own form, Jeet Kune Do. As he chased his Hollywood dreams, Bruce faced both discrimination and extraordinary triumphs. He broke through stereotypes and became a movie icon that everyone remembers. The Lee family curse hypothesis gained traction after Bruce Lee's son Brandon Lee died tragically in a freak accident while filming The Crow. Similarities observed between Brandon's deadly occurrence and his father's death during a film scene strengthened belief in the curse. Brandon's death comes just before the debut of a biopic about Bruce, which further deepens the sense of tragedy surrounding the Lee family. The issue remains: are the Lee family actually cursed, or are these simply tragic coincidences? The Lee family's intriguing and sad heritage continues to grab the public's imagination, igniting debates and discussions about fate, superstition, and the power of faith. What are your thoughts about the Lee family curse? Do you believe in curses and superstitions, or do you think these are just random tragedies? Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you enjoyed this video? Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. Thanks for watching.